Good morning children. In continuation with the previous topic of endocrine system, we are here taking up today gland pancreas, and after that next two glands are there, that is two sex organ, that is testes and ovary. So now first we are taking up pancreas with the help of notes, then I will show you in the book also. Number 1. Number is one only. One pancreas is present in our body. It is located near the duodenum, that is the first part of the small intestine. Now it is coming the structure. That pancreas is actually composed of, it is made up of, the exocrinal and endocrinal part both. Hence it is called as composite gland or heterocrine gland, because it is made up of two parts, exocrinal part and endocrinal part. Now in pancreas, the exocrinal part is only 2%, which secretes pancreatic juice, which is the digestive juice, and it is the part of the digestive system. And today we are not discussing that. We are to more concerned today with the endocrinal part of the pancreas. So its endocrinal part is called as islets of Langerhans. This islets of Langerhans is made up of two types of cells, alpha cells and beta cells. Now these alpha cells secretes the hormone glucagon. Now we are taking up the hormones of the pancreas. So alpha cell secretes the hormone glucagon and beta cell secretes the hormone insulin. Now what is the function of these two hormones, glucagon and insulin? So functions. So function of glucagon. Glucagon actually stimulates the liver cells, which are called as hepatocyte cells. And once these cells get stimulated, then the process of glycogenolysis also get stimulated, which is actually the breakdown of glycogen. That means under the influence of glucagon, the glycogen breakdown takes place. This breakdown of glycogen result into the formation of glucose, so that it will result into increased blood sugar called as hyperglycemia. It is being explained here with the help of equation that glycogen break down into glucose under the influence of glucagon, and this process is called as glycogenolysis. Now this glucagon also stimulates the process of gluconeogenesis, that is the formation of glucose. The same, this is again the formation of glucose. It also reduces the cellular glucose uptake, which also again result into the hyperglycemia. So glucagon is a hyperglycemic hormone. It is a hyperglycemic hormone. Its antagonistic hormone is insulin, which is secreted by beta cell. Insulin is a peptidal hormone made up of protein only, and it regulates the glucose homeostasis again. Insulin actually acts on the hepatocytes and adipocyte cells. Hepatocyte cells are the cells of the liver and adipocyte cells are the cells of the adipose tissue. It actually stimulates or enhances the glucose utilization and glucose uptake. So once glucose will utilize and uptake will take place, so that it will reduce the amount of glucose in the body. So rapid movement of glucose from the blood to the hepatocytes and adipocyte cells result into the decreased blood glucose level, which is called as hypoglycemia. Hence insulin is a hypoglycemic hormone and glucagon was hyperglycemic hormone. Hence both of these two are antagonistic hormone. It is being explained here in the form of equation that glucose under the influence of insulin converts into glycogen. This process is called as glycogenesis. and glucagon performs the reverse process. Now there is one note that glucose homeostasis is maintained in the blood by two hormones, that is insulin and glucagon. Okay, now one thing, that if the prolonged hyperglycemia takes place, that means if the excess of glucose is present in the blood more than the normal amount, this condition is called as diabetes mellitus. It leads to the loss of the glucose along with the urine and formation of the other compounds which are ketone bodies. So loss of glucose and ketone bodies along with the urine due to less of insulin results into hyperglycemia called as diabetes mellitus. Okay. So this is all about the glucagon and insulin hormone of pancreas. Now we are here shifting to the next gland, that is testes. So number, a pair of testes are present outside the abdominal cavity in the scrotal sac. Now the structure. So the testes is composed of seminiferous tubules and the stromal or interstitial tissue. In the interstitial tissue, the leading cells or the interstitial cells are present. That means in the stromal tissue, the leading or interstitial cells are present and seminiferous tubules are present in the testes. Now specific feature. Specific feature is that the testes act as both sex organs and endocrine glands both. Now the hormones secreted by the leading cells present in the testes or interstitial cells present in the testes, the group of hormones are secreted by these leading cells which are called